Reconnecting? I think we are.
We are connected.
Hello and
Welcome.
welcome to Luna.
And the Druid.
We keep pointing out who is who. I think it's obvious by now, but just in case.
Yes, and we're in Kalani Studio together. Not at home.
Yes, today Jan is hosting myself and you guys in his lovely, beautiful studio. We have a dragon behind us, shelves with carry a lot of wisdom and even more wisdom with the tarot decks.
Tarot decks, the candle burning, and the two of us. And our producer is in the background. He's obviously sleeping. Don't wake him up.
She had a lovely and wonderful name.
Yeah.
And tonight we want to talk about the importance of connecting with your inner child, with that beautiful energy of us. And we want to look at it from different aspects, from the aspects of bringing joy into our life, as well as importance of healing the inner child.
Yeah.
So the concept of inner child, what it is, inner child. What is your understanding of an inner child?
The inner child is that thing in you that supposedly should never go away. Lots of us lose it along the way, and sometimes when we are in deep trouble, we reconnect with it to get out of it.
That's so true. According to the definition, I'm prepared today with definitions. The inner child represents the subconscious mind's childlike aspect. It holds on to past experiences, both positive and negative, and it can influence present day behavior. And it's used to describe the part of those experience, feelings, memories, as the definition said, good and bad. To me, inner child is very often trauma stored within our bodies, emotions which are stuck, not released. But also, on the other hand, that joyful, loving life, nature, that adventurous part of us which we had within us when we were children. The children, their energy, their curiosity with exploring the world is so energizing. It's so joyful. They want to learn, they want to explore, they want to have fun. Their imagination is running wild.
And to a child, the whole world is magic, of course.
Absolutely.
A child who's just born, sometimes you can see when it opens, when the small baby opens their eyes and you look into it, you can also often sometimes see the wisdom in the child in the eyes, the wisdom of the old one that they just left in the previous life. Because we as Druids look at the life as a wheel, so the wheel of life. We start with the child, the mabon, the maiden, mabon as a male, maiden as a female, then the mother, or as a male you become the warrior, mother and warrior archetype. Then you have the third archetype, which is the chieftain for the male, and the crone for the woman. Yeah. And the fourth archetype is the last life phase where you become the wise one, either male or female. And my funny story is always, if you have your life balanced, every one of these four aspects carry 20% of yourself.
But we have four aspects. So
four aspects, 4 times 20, that's 80%.
Yeah.
So where do you put the other 20%? Most likely in the one that matches your age.
Oh, I see.
So when you're a child, you're 40% child and just 3 times 20 the rest. When you're an old man, and sometimes you even say, okay, I put 10% in the old one, and when you're very old, you put 10% in the child again,
Yeah, that is so true, because when we get the older we get, then we become childlike again in
Of
terms of being
course.
dependent on others, and it's
Yeah.
necessary
Yeah. Or
some self-sufficient anymore.
yeah.
It depends
I
on the
would.
stage, obviously.
Yeah, I would even go deeper there or go in a different direction there. What I noticed when getting older, the world gets more and more beautiful.
Oh, I guess I'm too young to discover that yet.
You have a few years to go. No, it's well, actually, for a man, of course. Uh, when you're 25, there's the girls 18 to 25, maybe even up to 30, are
Mhm.
beautiful. When you're over 60, like I am, girls
Not
15 to 55 are beautiful. So the world gets more beautiful.
15.
Yeah,
Naughty,
to look at,
naughty,
not to
naughty
touch, not to
druid.
touch. No, you know what I mean. So there's more beauty in the world.
Absolutely.
There's more beauty,
Yes.
but even my perception of nature, driving around here in Ireland, uh, I'm still in awe all the time when I see how nature manifests itself. So I'm there. That's the young part of me again. That's
Mm,
the playful part of me again that wants to go out and have fun and do a bit of drumming and a bit of meditation and a bit of
mm,
fun with people.
yeah.
That's what I like.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you on that. The older I get, the more beauty of the world I see. And I'm not sure if it's a natural process or if it's just being more conscious and being consciously connected to that inner child,
Yeah,
to that part of us which sees the magic.
yeah,
It's my choice to look at the world through the childlike eyes,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
But it wasn't like this,
Always
for
no.
sure.
No.
No,
It
no.
also has to do with the life phase. For instance, the second life phase, the warrior and mother life phase, is so absorbing, all absorbing.
It's all about the
It's
service.
about career,
Yeah.
it's about service, it's about raising the kids, it's about building the family, paying off the
Mm.
mortgage, or getting a mortgage, even,
Yeah.
and everything gets more important. And the older you get, your spiritual self releases again when you get more time. You become more mindful of your
Mm.
surroundings, you become more mindful of life itself, and then the eyes once more open and
Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
the
that's
beauty of
true.
everything. And then all of a sudden, all the products uh, of industry, cars and luxury gear and everything, become less and less important. And
Mm.
just like springtime now, when all the flowers come up, the colors, the trees in full leaf, and yeah, the world gets prettier and prettier.
Absolutely. It's funny because I had a friend over, Julie. Hello. I can't believe
Maybe
that
she's
you're back
there.
home.
Oh, she's probably there. Yeah.
Um, Julie was actually a guest on our. Perhaps we'll just put the description in the description box, the link to that one. This was a lovely conversation, lovely
Yeah.
interview, and I had a wonderful time with her. And it's actually exactly what you said: the ability of seeing the world, seeing the beauty of the world. We were having a lot of conversations about that aspect of choosing to see the goodness and being in awe with things we are so familiar with. We took a ride to Kerry Cliffs and we did all the part of Wild Atlantic Way over there. And I said to Julie that it doesn't matter how many times I will drive there. My kid is awake. I am happy. I was smiling with my entire being, admiring the beauty of the nature. Um, it's just, but I think you're right. It's a choice of the way we live, like this, and it takes a while to get to that point, to see the magic of the world again.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm all about magic, so I see magic everywhere, but it wasn't always the case.
Same here.
Um, Especially when we go through stuff, when we go through traumas, when we go through
Mm.
difficulties and
Yeah.
experiences, it's really hard to connect with that joyful aspect of ourselves.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
And even when you work on your career or when you work on building a family or getting it all together, like I said, it's all consuming.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And I think it's necessary to experience that as well in order to wake up to the real magic and what is really important in life. And
it
I'm not
is.
saying that career is not important, that I'm not saying that if that what resonates, gathering possessions, if that works your boat, that's absolutely fine. However, at some point we realize, most of us realize that it's more to life than just things, than just going to work, spending weekends at the pub and watching TV or Netflix. Again, I'm not judgmental
No, no,
here, not at all. It's just for me, life is something different, like a joyful, happy being is about different things as well. And
life is
sometimes
more.
I do that as well. Sometimes I will watch something and enjoy that as well. However, I really love adventures. Whoever knows me, they will know my joyful, childlike spirit. I will always have fun. I will always mess around with people, have a good laugh, joke around, because that's what makes magic, that what makes life magical and special, those moments we can share with other people. And speaking of sharing, we have few surprises today for you. When we came out with the topic of inner child, Jan asked me one question: have you got a picture of yourself when you were a child? So be prepared, that's little Luna.
It's mini Luna.
I'm 3 years old here.
Yeah,
I also have a picture. Did you upload the other one?
I haven't got another
Oh,
one of you.
okay, that's fine. I found a few more, but now, guys, prepare yourself because Jan will show his picture.
Oh, look at me.
Look at this cutie.
This must have been about, I think, 14, 15 months old,
Mm.
maybe even younger. I had
And
nice, fleshy legs, as you can see,
a lovely Bambi toy and the
and
ducky.
and hair on my head.
And what I want you to pay attention to is that joyful smile we you especially have, because I was terrified of a photographer. That was my trauma actually. And but look at this smile. Look at the way the children see the world. They're smiling. They're happy. They are just in a present moment, and I think that's what connecting with the inner child teaches us, being in the present moment, because kids don't think about the future, kids don't think about the past, kids are here and now in the present moment. So yeah, that's I think important aspect of connecting with that joyful part of us. And as Ian said, very often it's all about connecting people with people, sharing good time, and we actually had a wonderful afternoon here today, and we're going to share a little video with you. Um, Jan was doing the thing he
Young
loves,
things.
yeah, but things he loves, probably one of the things he loved the most, which was drumming. So we had a lot of fun, we had good food, we went to a beautiful stone circle, and Jan will probably tell more about it in a second. Yeah, so maybe you could share a little bit about that stone circle, where it is, and
Yeah, yeah. The stone circle. It's called the Lissavigine Stone Circle, but it's also known under the name of the Seven Sisters, and
mm,
that's because there are seven stones. There are actually nine stones, but two of them are a bit remote, and the seven form a circle. And it is said that the seven sisters were dancing. They were daughters and stepdaughters of the Dagda, and they were dancing, and they were supposed to be at home around midnight. And when they didn't,
like Cinderella.
like Cinderella, and when the clock struck midnight, they were still dancing and no intention of going home. And of course, their dad got angry, and one by one, plop, 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 turned them into stone.
Mm.
And the other two were the musicians. And when they saw what happened, they ran away. And now, about 20, 30 meters from the stone circle, they form the entrance
Yeah.
to the fortress where the circle is in. So it's a very special stone circle. The seven daughters of Hermes, so Anu, Banba, Fotla, Eru, Morrigan, Maka, and Bave
Mm.
are the seven daughters by different men from the goddess Hermes who brought them to life. And now
Mm.
they're forever set in stone in
Yeah.
the stone circle on the edge of Killarney. A
It,
lovely place.
it's absolutely wonderful, magical place. It's actually a stone circle within a fairy circle, so everything there is magical. It's a different stone circle, and you can think of stone circle as a huge stones. No, they were. I can't say tiny stones because they were still big, but
Yeah,
they
yeah,
weren't
yeah.
high like most of the stone circles I've been to. So it was a very interesting
It's a
experience. The
magical place.
energy over there was just so wonderful. We went there and we immediately, the three of us, immediately just sat down there and we got so quiet. But at the same time, we were so happy to be there, to be with each other, to have conversations, to connect with the spirit of land, to connect with the energies there, with the fairies. And what was actually one of the interesting things is that we could see the magic, so we could see the fairies like almost literally. So perhaps we could share a video. We prepared it just really quickly because it wasn't long
It was
ago.
today.
It
Yeah,
was today. We came back not long
yeah, yeah.
ago. So enjoy, and you will see the joy on Jan's face, and that playfulness. I could tell that he connects to that magical, joyful part of him when he takes out the drum.
Good day to you. Sorry for interrupting you. Oh, you don't. You don't. You can't. This is a public place. This is a place for all. You create atmosphere with the what? Drums. You create atmosphere with the drums.
Would form the heart. Did you notice that the trees form the
Yeah,
heart?
from the heart. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
the canopy there. So a magical place.
Very magical. As you can see, we had so much fun. And in the middle of drumming, I saw in the distance a person, and they were like looking what's going on because they got lured by the sound of Jan's drum. So we invited them obviously to the circle, and there was a little girl as well. So she was so joyful. She was playing with our producer Karma. She was enjoying the drum, and we had such a lovely conversation and such a lovely time with those people. They shared a little bit of their story. Jan explained what that circle is actually. He shared some of his wisdom with him, and we had beautiful, beautiful time.
Yeah.
And the reason we are sharing this because it is so important and so crucial for reducing stress, our mental health, like having the opportunity to play, to have some fun. And this is what balances us. It's so needed. And children are great because they want to play all the time. They know how to bring themselves into that joyful state. And as we grow older, as we start to have more and more responsibilities, more and more bills to pay, then we lose that aspect, and that's when it can get tricky, and that's when it can actually start to be a problem.
Yeah, yeah, and of course the problem intensifies once we become more aware of ourselves and more aware of of the more aware of what other people might think of us, you know. And we know a lot. I know a lot of spiritual people who more or less hide their spirituality or their ideas from the rest of the world, from people they live with in the same house, you know.
Yeah.
I I couldn't care less. The world may know. I'm not even. It can take a long time for people to get to know me, and once when they hear, for instance, that I'm a druid, it's not that I'm always shouting, "Oh, I'm Jan, I'm a druid." No, I'm myself.
Yeah.
And after a while, they say, "Okay, what's there? What are you doing?" And
Magic.
the magic, and then it comes out. Then
Yeah.
it comes out, or it comes out because I see it on Facebook, on my website, or whatever. I'm very open with it. I'm playful with it. I enjoy being myself. Enjoy
And
life. Yeah.
that's exactly what children do as well. They are always themselves. If they want to throw a tantrum, they will throw a tantrum. If they
Yep.
want to have an ice cream, they will ask for an ice cream. Hello, Iron Fire Horse. I love the nickname.
Yeah.
That's Killarney in Ireland. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's Stone Circle. And
Kai.
Kai, if you're looking for a private reading, we both have our websites where you can book a reading with either of us. But at the end, towards the end of the show,
We
we
might
like to pull some
pull some
cards
cards.
with the guidance for upcoming week. So hello, and so lovely to have you here, guys,
Yeah.
and connect with you.
Yeah.
We are talking today about the importance of connecting with our inner child, but inner child is not just joy, and it's not just the playfulness. There is more aspects to this, and another aspect will be that spiritual aspect, which we touched on already, with this being this authentic self, connecting with our own energy, with our own spirit, that sense of kind of wholeness in some sense, because inner child will be those parts of us which stopped in time, those will be those memories, very often traumatic memories, emotions, like things
Happens. Yeah.
which scare us, things which terrify us, things which traumatize us. And when you awaken, obviously a spiritual journey, one of the most important aspects of spirituality is to heal ourselves. And
It's always, yeah.
healing happens through healing inner child as well. Because we have to heal those parts, those broken, in brackets obviously, parts of ourselves, those parts which got hurt in the past. Because very often, especially when we are children, and if it happens when we're a child, we don't know how to regulate emotions. We don't know how to deal with the stress. We don't share, like when we are grown-ups, for example, we can ring a friend and say, listen, this and that happened. And when through talking, we can already release some emotions. Children don't have those mechanisms. Even biologically, very often they don't develop those mechanisms in terms of self-regulation just yet, especially when it comes to emotions, traumas. So those emotions get trapped in the body. It's like, imagine a balls of energy which get trapped in the body, in the certain areas of our bodies, and we hold them for life. Sometimes, if we want tap into that energy, if we want heal
Heal
that.
it. Yeah.
And what is healing? Healing is processing things. Healing is actually accepting those emotions and allowing them to be, acknowledging them, and then releasing them. It's like our life's experience, our traumas, everything what we've been through. It's like we would be carrying it on the in a backpack on our backs. So the further you go in life, the more of those experience you put in that backpack or into that bag, and you carry it, and it becomes heavy, and then it becomes too heavy after a while, and your spine starts to hurt, your hips starts to hurt because of that weight and heaviness. So it's important to take this backpack off and just take those things which we don't need anymore. And that's what processing through emotions and releasing those emotions is about, just to making that backpack lighter so we could have a room for new experiences, lighter experiences. And connecting with inner child helps to develop that inner harmony, that temperance we were talking about and not so long ago here in
Yeah.
this studio,
Yeah.
actually.
Actually. Yeah. Yeah.
uh, that balance of the good and the bad, the good experiences, bad experiences, healing and hurt and
Hmm.
healing.
Yeah. And sometimes what the mind does when we have a good experience, it takes us to a high peak. And then we have a bad experience and whoop, and we go all down rock bottom in a blink of an eye, you know. And
Exactly.
like you said, when we grow, when we heal our inner child, when we get rid of the old pains and the old traumas, we can balance it out, and
Hmm.
we can enjoy the highs, but we can cope with the lows. And the highs aren't like peak experiences
Hmm.
anymore. Peak experiences are fine, but you can't always have them. And
Because eventually you'll burn out
you
as
burn
well.
out anyway. It's like burning the candle on two sides, on the
Hmm.
peaks and on the lows. And if you just burn the candle slowly and go through life with fun, with pleasure, with happiness, of course, uh, but not too ecstatic.
Mm, yeah, absolutely. That inner harmony is an
It's
important
harmony. Yeah,
aspect. But
yeah.
I think we learn through burning and going into the high peaks as well as low. Recently, I had I'll call it lower period in my life, that I was actually going and processing through old traumas, through old emotions. There was a time for me for a deep healing, and I didn't feel myself to the certain degree, because I didn't feel that spark. I couldn't connect with the joyful energy of my inner child, of me being this joyful sun card. I always relate to sun card. First of all, it is part of my nature. Second of all, I was born on the 19th, and 19th, the major arcana 19 is the
It's
sun
the sun.
card. And who knows me well, they always will say, like, yes, Luna, you are like a sun cone, that burst of energy. Um, so sorry, got distracted a little bit. So I was going through that tough period of life, and I got a reading with a lovely, intelligent tarot reader, Soul's Creative Tarot, and she said that at the end of it, I will go back, I will reconnect with that energy of me, because I will heal those aspects which should be healed. And that's exactly what happened. And even we had a conversation yesterday when I said, do you know what? I feel like myself again. And that's fantastic feeling. I could feel that inner joy with me rising again. But I had to go through that lower period of time in order to find my balance again. And it gave me a sense of empowerment as well, because that's what healing gives you, the sense of empowerment, of your own power, that you know that you can deal with stuff, you know that you can face some challenges and adversity. And we had an entire episode about facing adversity.
Adversity
Thank you.
in the past. Yeah.
So, if that's something which you would love to watch or rewatch, we absolutely recommend, because we share a lot of tips how to deal with that part and that aspects of your life. What also inner child work will do is it will help you to work through patterns, through your limiting beliefs, through those cycles which you recreate, either your own or things you inherited, things you grew up with, which are not necessarily yours. And again, we're going back to that being authentic self, and connecting with that energy. So it's super important to heal our inner child. You may ask, why? How? Well, how to do it? Well, there is plenty of techniques on how to heal trauma, and it doesn't always have to be going back and revisiting those events and relieve those emotions and relieve that trauma. No, not at all. I personally love to connect with those aspects through guided meditations, and go back to that little me who got traumatized at that moment and just nurture myself. Go back from the point of the grown up me who I am right now and just give the love and the nurturing I needed back then, which I didn't receive, and give myself that safetiness and that comfort I was craving there, but for some reason I didn't get it. So, like, going back and connecting with inner child through meditation is a great way of doing it.
Yeah.
Journaling, writing letters, for example, or connecting through automatic writing and seeing what comes up would be another interesting way of doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. And what you actually call this is regression. You could do regressive meditations where you, before you go into meditation, or in or when you before you take a soul journey or a journey, and when you don't know it, you probably need someone to help you there, to clear the path for you, to show the way. So that could be therapy or someone helping you there. And from shamanic journeying on, we can from shamanic journey we can, in a shamanic journey, we can go back to our early days, our youth, our inner child. If we could even go to previous lives, but these are different types of regression. For the healing of the inner child is visiting your inner child, we're seeing it for what it truly is, uh, and from there gain acceptance
Mm,
of who you became, because who you became is who you are, and you can't be somebody else.
mm,
The other's already taken.
yeah,
And yeah, and from there you can, for instance, like you said, write a letter to your younger self. Why not? Or yeah, or do all these kinds of activities.
mm,
Sometimes in groups you can work with friends, or you know,
yeah.
I connect with I'm my oldest friend we're connected now for 50. In September, we have a friendship of 55
Oh
years.
wow.
Yeah, yeah. I can show you a picture
Yeah,
of the
please
early days.
do.
It's lovely. Let me see. Where am I?
Oh, Julie is with us.
It's
Hello,
Julie. Hello,
Julie.
Julie.
We so miss you having
Yeah.
you here.
And this was me.
Oh my goodness. Guys, guess which one is Jan? Write in the comments. Which one do you think Jan is? I didn't guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how old were you here?
This must have been like, I think 17, 18 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Years ago.
The yeah. The wild years.
My
Yeah.
goodness.
The photo is well, we look like a rock band, don't we?
You do
And actually, my
indeed.
my my friend, that's the one with the blondest hair. He's actually a drummer. So, and I was the road manager of the band at the
Mm.
time, and the other two were just our friends, and we were always together.
We have some comments
Some
here. Have
somebody
a look.
somebody guessing who I am? The very left,
Yes.
Julie.
Yes, well done.
Well done. The very left, that's me. The one with the dark hair and
Oh my
and the
goodness.
half beard and yeah,
And that magic in your
and the
eyes
magic
was
in my eyes
there.
already. I was a
Oh, thank
magician
you
at the
for bringing
time.
that. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is such a cool
So
picture.
and so the guy with the blonde hair and me, we're in September, we're friends for 55 years.
Wow.
And that's a crazy amount of years. And
Mm,
there were times that sometimes we haven't seen each other for 10, 12, 15 years. And we got together, and it was like the conversation that stopped 10 years earlier just went on
yeah.
the same moment. And that's what this big old friendship does. You immediately, you can always together reconnect to the memories you had, the beautiful, brilliant memories you had
Mm.
at the time. And we made a few good ones.
Oh, I can imagine. And I'm actually happy you brought that because that's another aspect of healing the inner child is to just bringing joy into your life now in the present moment. Like just like Jan said, connecting with people, the like-minded people, all with your friends, people you love to spend time with and share your time and energy with like self-nurturing activities. Maybe there was something you wanted to do when you were a child but you couldn't, so do that now. Why not
Yeah,
bring that energy? Maybe come back to the hobby you used to do before but you stopped for some reason. Going out and
music.
music, absolutely.
You know.
Listening to those oldie goldies, those hits where you were a child or a younger
Oh my goodness, yeah,
person.
yeah,
But
yeah.
obviously it's important that that would be bring positive memories,
Of
because if
course,
we
yeah,
bring
yeah,
those negative
yeah, yeah,
memories,
yeah,
that's a healing journey ahead of us.
yeah.
But also being out in nature, having fun, going for walks, and looking at the world from the point of view of a child and falling in love with the wonder of the world,
Yeah.
noticing the butterflies, the leaves, smelling the roses,
Make
smelling the
friends,
flowers, talking, making new friends,
of
being
course.
open instead of being inside of our own world, inside mind. I've been enjoying camping by myself for the last 3 years. Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
absolutely
Camping
brilliant
is
idea.
just
Yeah,
one of my favorite ways of spending time. And what's funny, when I was in my, let's say, 25 to 35 years ish, long time ago, I was always saying, no, camping, that's not for me. I need to have a comfortable bed, a bathroom.
yeah,
And then accidentally I went camping, and then I was like, oh my goodness, I was depriving myself for all those years
yeah,
from the most amazing activity I can do. So thank you for
yeah. Thank you. And I can share
sharing that.
share a similar experience. At 51, I went through a big life change. And I went out for 5 days on my own and returned 8 months later.
Oh, yes,
Of
that
course, I
happens
found
as
my inner
well.
child.
But
And yeah, and got healed and got sorted and everything. That's the fun thing of being able to step
Mm,
out of life occasionally when necessary.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then healing will help us to create more space for the new experiences, for the new to come, for different experiences. Because when we heal, we learn to set boundaries, which is one of the most important aspects of spiritual growth, in my
Bingo. Yep.
personal
Yep.
opinion. So, but there is also so many other methods, like there is a method by Dr. Bradley Nelson for those who don't want to revisit those experiences anymore. The technique is called the emotion code, where a therapist will connect with your subconscious mind, and through certain practices, they can release those emotions without you necessarily going back into that past and reliving it again. Obviously, it may have an effect on the body, because if the emotions get stored, especially for many years, there will be some sort
Crying.
of release,
Yeah.
like crying or feeling anger or feeling lack of energy or feeling numb for a while. But those are beautiful techniques. So there is a plenty of fish in the sea in terms of ways of healing. And
Tapping.
another one,
EMDR. Yeah.
fantastic, EPT, where you tap into certain points with certain
Yeah. Body, head.
invocations.
Yeah. With
Yes,
thoughts and releasing the thoughts with tapping. You.
absolutely.
Yeah.
The entire somatic practices, somatic yoga, or tapping, other somatic movements in general,
Yeah.
dancing. This is another
And
fantastic
music
way.
and
Yes,
drumming.
playing instruments as
Yeah.
well as being around
Singing.
instruments. Sound healings,
Yeah.
going to for a sound bath, and healing with using the
Yeah.
sound, like drum. We had a profound experiences today with the drum. You could hear actually the comment that it goes deep within your soul. You could deeply feel the drum within your chakras, your energy centers. So there is for everyone can find the right technique from themselves, because just because something
Yeah.
will work for me, it doesn't mean that it's going to work for
That's
Jan
it.
or for you. So it is important to explore, and it is important to be open
Yeah.
to and have that willingness and drive to heal, because
Yeah.
healing journey is not easy at all.
Yeah.
It's very challenging.
Yeah.
Can be. I'm not saying that it is. It can be,
Yeah.
but sometimes it can be very easy and simple as accepting
Yeah.
experiences and just moving on.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we live here and now, not in the past. Now, here in this present moment, like we are here together in your
Then
studio.
we're together and
Yeah.
we're in the zone and
Sorry for the high pitch. I get excited.
the thing that, for instance, that works for me is the hyper focus state,
Mm,
or as I call it, being in the zone.
in
I
the
can
flow,
in the
yeah.
flow or in the zone. I have it with music. I have it with all kinds of art forms, with writing, journaling.
Mm,
I can write like 3 pages in 15 minutes, and I'm just the whole world. The whole world goes away when I'm reading tarot cards. I'm
mm.
the world can come to an end, and me and the tarot table and my client will still be reading, and we won't even notice the end of the world. That's, and being in the zone, being there, can be very, very, very challenging until you're healed,
Mm. Oh yeah,
because the
absolutely.
when you quiet the mind,
Mm.
that's what actually happens. The normal thinking processes come to a stop. The processes of I need to do this. I have this bill to pay. I need to do the dishes, the laundry, vacuum the house. Oh, I need to call my mom. Need to call my friends. Need to go out to dinner. Be there in time. All these thoughts keep us occupied, and the clutter in the mind pushes away the true
Yeah,
experience.
that's so
and
true.
and the moment you get into the zone and you still have unresolved trauma, boom, then it hits you in the
Hits you
face,
like a train.
hits you like a
Yeah,
truck, a train. Yeah.
yeah.
And but once you're healed, the zone is the best place to be.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And that's called mindfulness, which is being aware of your thoughts.
Yeah.
And obviously, Jan gave an example of reading cards. And when you read cards, you get from your mind into the soul, into the divine channeling, because you channel the
Mind,
messages.
heart, center
Yes, so
chakras. Yeah.
everything gets balanced all of a sudden. Everything is in alignment. It's not just the mind taking control over us. It's the being we experience in that very moment. Yeah, that was a great example. Thank you very much. So, if you have any questions, guys, about inner child, how to connect with inner child or how to heal inner child, obviously you write it in the comments, even after the video, if you're watching it live, you can do it right now, or you can always leave and drop in comment
Later.
and we will respond. We can always add and even create a video if we didn't mention something.
Anything. Yeah.
But just to summarize, the inner child is actually that part of our subconscious mind which requires our loving, tender, and nurturing and care. Oh my goodness, I see him. Now guess, guys, which one is little Luna? It's a family photo. Magda, if you're watching this, please don't kill me for showing and sharing that. This is actually my grandma with my sister and my two cousins, and I'm there as well somewhere.
And one of you too. Who's Luna here?
Guess which one is Luna there? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing any ribbons. Not at all. I can't believe that I'm actually sharing.
I'm showing you.
But that's very funny. Yeah, that was in my kindergarten.
Kindergarten days,
the monkey. I remember that actually. But anyway, it is important to connect with inner child. It is important
to be there all the time. Yeah,
that aspect of ourselves, because at the end of the day, it's us. It's still us, and it's great if we allow that part of us come up to the surface and be, and sometimes even lead the way, instead of the ego, instead of the mind, and because that's what makes life more magical. Remember, go back in the past and see how life was great when we were children and we saw the world through the eyes of fantasy, that we could see fairies, unicorns, and the magic was real.
When we were magicians ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Jan has some cards in his hand.
Do I?
Yes. Julie says great
photos. Oh, they are great. Luna and the monkey.
Luna and the monkey.
Luna and the monkey.
So, I think it would be good.
It would be good to wrap up with maybe some cards.
Yeah.
Some guidance for our inner child.
Yes. How to connect with the inner child.
Yeah, or
whatever you are.
Well, let's. So I will do some guidance for the inner child.
Yeah.
And you can pull a card and give your opinion on that.
Yeah,
okay?
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. So I'll pick one, and then
you pick one, and I'll talk about it.
All right. Let's see this one. Oh wow.
The Two of Swords, of course. We had it recently in our show as well. The Two of Swords in the Thoth deck is called Peace, and it's not called Peace for nothing. It's a card that relates to inner peace, and it's finding your inner peace, and it's it comes after the Ace of Swords, which is the clear mind, and sometimes we have to, as we saw in the Rider-Waite Tarot, put on a blindfold and not look at the world. Yeah, not look at the world for reality, but just close ourselves off, quieten the mind, sit still, and be at peace with yourself.
Yeah, I love the imagery on this card. Let me know when you finished, because I'm picking up on so many things in this card, in the aspect of the inner child as well. Well, what I'm really drawn to, can you see those like elements which are like puzzles? The
Yeah, well, I see something different there.
Oh, that what I see actually
I put
here.
it a bit closer.
Thank you. I look at it as pieces of the puzzle, pieces of the picture, and we all have experience in our life which create the entire picture of our life, right? Entire the story of our life. But sometimes it is important, and that's actually something different to what you said. So pick whatever resonates with you. But sometimes we have to say no to the past. We have to just leave the past
Yeah,
behind,
yeah.
close that chapter, heal that chapter, close it, and protect ourselves by putting those two swords up in front of, or actually, yeah, like behind, put the past behind
Behind
and
us.
just
Yeah.
close that door and not allow those experience to poison you anymore.
Well, I I see something totally different here
Mm.
in the four puzzle pieces you see between the swords. Uh, I'm Dutch. I rode a bicycle when I was 3 already, and I had a little
True.
windmill on my steering wheel. When you
Mm.
drive hard, the wheels
Yes,
got turning, and I even sometimes had two, and I wished I had four.
it's amazing actually.
And of course, this is the connection with the inner child when you move forward and things started happening, and of course that's also always in our lessons when you want things to happen, when you want the inner child to manifest, when you want the big when you want all life changes to manifest, you have to keep on moving, to
Mm.
keep the wheels in motion, to keep the
Yeah.
propellers moving.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And sometimes we have to, just like Jan said at the beginning, we have to remove those swords and go there and allow ourselves to to feel that joy of life again, not to protect ourselves from going there, not to disconnect, because I see this as a
Yeah,
disconnection with this cross,
that's what the crosses do. Yeah,
yeah,
that's what
cross
crossroads do.
stops the flow of energy. So sometimes, so take whatever resonates with you, because obviously different type of energies flow, so it means it's different part of the reading will resonate with a different person, which is absolutely
That's
fantastic.
always how it works.
Yes, I love those live readings and there is more people, so there's more messages coming, and sometimes they can be completely opposite to each other,
No,
but
they're
then
not.
but they're not, because
No,
they actually create that
they're holistic.
those
It's a holistic
exactly
picture.
picked those pieces of
Everything, all the
puzzle.
elements are there,
Yeah.
and of course, on top, Luna is there as well.
So it's the intuition
On
as
below the
well,
two, we see the crescent moon on its side.
as well as the
Yeah,
emotional side.
yeah,
The moon is the intuitive,
and
emotional.
and we see the
What?
sign of Libra.
Oh yeah, balance.
So this card represents the
Mm,
moon in Libra,
yeah.
the balance.
Oh, balancing the scales as well,
Yeah,
which we mentioned the temperance here, bringing the
yeah.
balance into our life. Lovely, lovely. I really love this card actually. I never like the Two of Swords. The energy is usually hard and challenging, but this one is different in this aspect of inner child. Yeah.
Shall I pick one for you and you start
Okay.
with what you want to tell?
That one was just moving, so
Well, it's a special
yeah.
one, but
We'll see what's gonna come.
I have one here.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow. I mean,
Super inner child.
those who read tarot probably know by
Already.
already if he said inner child,
Super inner
super
child.
inner child, we got the full card. We have actually entire series about the fool's journey, and it starts with the full card, which
Itself, yeah.
represents the innocence, the clear slate, the childlike faith in life, because the fool in more traditional decks, the image of the fool is the guy who walks on the edge of the cliff. He has just a little bit of bag of the baggage with him, but he's moving forward. He's taking a leap of faith.
There's all the baggage, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I see the card? Because I want to see what's
Yeah, it's
going to
an
come
interesting
from
one.
it.
Yeah, see
Oh
what you
my
see.
goodness, this
Yeah,
is an interesting one.
it's a
We
very
have here, there is
complex
a
one.
lot of elements going on. We have
Yeah.
here butterflies, we have here animals. We have here also, the way I see this is that like a circle of life. And so experiences with which, if we want to heal them, will come back and come back and come back in different shapes or forms in order to be healed and released. Because like to me it looks like he's carrying those circles. I'm not sure if you can see that card, but
Yeah, you can see the
the
circles
fool
around him.
represents innocence, the pureness, the joyfulness. I'm really drawn to those horns he has here. It's probably a image of a moon, but
It's the moon again. Yeah, of course.
yeah, it's a lovely card. I'm really drawn to the symbol of the spiral heart here. I probably see things completely different.
No, you see them right.
There are the zodiacs here,
Yeah,
and there is, look at here. Those are those. It looks to me like two children being together, like hugging and
they do.
cuddling,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
being close.
the children are below here in the
Yeah.
yellow part, and above it are the reproductive organs.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Amazing.
of course, in the background we see the inheritance. So the fool starts with nothing and always still has most of it left. But he also starts with the gifts of life, the cradle, the
Mhm.
the on the other side you see the money and the fruits, and we see the dove here and the butterfly, and we see the little cat that wakes him up. And of course, many of the elements in this deck, many of the
Mhm.
elements return. You see the cat returning in the Princess of Wands,
Yes.
where she carries it, and
Mm.
in the Queen of Wands, where she has control over it.
My goodness, this is like,
It's a
this
story.
card is amazing. It's so, I usually don't read the top deck,
No,
so I'm just in taking it all in. But I see here, I think it's a phoenix or something, but I see this is the element of fire, which is the passion we need to connect.
yeah,
There is like a something which I see, the diamond, which is kind of like, let's call it possession or earthly mothers, like, because just like Jan said, when we start our life as children, we have nothing. We are being born naked to this world. We have nothing, and then throughout the life, we start to gather things, start possessions as well as experiences, and some of them will be bountiful and will bring fruits, and some of them will bring the opposite experiences. And if there is a trauma we experience, if we want to
and
heal
there's a
it,
crocodile.
it
Yeah,
will come back and bite us, like just like that crocodile here.
yeah,
I also see the element of a breast here. This it's popping out of this card here, so it's the element of nurturing as well. So it is important to nurture our inner child, which we've been talking throughout this entire episode today. And that sun here in the middle, that represents to me being authentic to ourselves. There are butterflies here which represents transformation we're going through on multiple occasions through life.
we're so happy that we're in the library
Mm-hmm.
because I have a book here, and actually, it's a book that has the tarot cards as lines,
Oh,
and I colored it.
yeah, I noticed that.
And here we see the Fool in the golden
Whoopsie,
in the
we're
Golden
messing
Dawn
up the
deck,
studio.
actually as a baby, as the inner child,
Mm.
reaching for the flowers and the petals and the protective dog behind him. So
There is also something which looks like a Kundalini aspect in a way,
of
so
course,
it
yeah,
shows
yeah,
that spiritual um, life force energy within us, which we built through life. Oh my goodness, this is a very deep card. I
it
love
is.
it. I love
The
it.
book of Thoth. The chapter of the Fool is more
Yeah.
than 20 pages.
Oh wow, wow.
So call it a deep card.
Mm.
Yeah.
And the last aspect about the full and the inner child is taking the leap of faith. As children, we are so full of hope, faith. We are not scared of anything. We are not afraid of trying new things.
Failing.
Failing as well. There's no fear of
There's no
failing. This
failing.
is just when my doggy Karma was growing up, when she wanted to climb a couch, for example, there was no force of stopping her. Obviously, she was too tiny, but she never gave up. If she fell, she fell. Like landing didn't matter as long as she was going and trying new ways in order to achieve her goal. She was growing in a physical sense, but as well as she was gaining experiences. She actually started to move, but she knows that I'm talking about her. And the end result didn't matter to her as much as the drive of trying and getting and moving forward.
Yeah. So that was your message for the fool.
Mm.
And I just want to complete it there. Um, yeah, look at life through the eyes of a fool. Look at the life through the eyes of your inner child. Look at life through the eyes of a baby, because the baby, in the eyes of the baby, like we started, we can still see. We can already see the wise woman or the wise man that's present in them.
Yeah, absolutely. Wisdom of the Druid.
Wisdom of the Druids.
Yes. And with that said,
We still have one thing to go.
yes. Thank you so much for being with us today,
Yeah.
sharing your time, energy, beautiful comments, and just being here with us. We love you guys. Please remember to like this video, share it with your friends if you think like they would be interesting. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel because that helps us grow and reach more people. And last but not least, we have a little treat for you guys.
A little.
A little more.
See you later.